Darren, how's your first pre-season been with the AFL setup?
It's been really enjoyable. A great coaching group to get to know and spend a bit of time with early on, and then the players back in and a good relationship with the players, and just really enjoyed how they've gone about it. And it's been great energy from day one, and it's great to get into game mode now and into some gameplay and be ready to get into some trial games over the next couple of weeks. So it's been really enjoyable.
Obviously, you were a senior coach before. Now you're an assistant. What are the biggest differences?
I think probably for me personally, just be able to sort of the forward line and nail down those sort of 14 or 15 guys and spend a lot of time with those guys has been really enjoyable. And I think that's probably the biggest difference. I mean, Josh has been really strong on putting a lot of it back onto us as assistant coaches and making sure that the training sessions and everything's running smoothly. So it hasn't changed too much in that space. It's probably just the ability to be able to nail down those 14 guys and spend a lot of time with those over the pre-season.
As a forwards coach, how do you feel when you see Mitch Georgiades getting called into centre bounces?
Yeah, I mean, that was just something to have a look at and just throw something a bit different to him, and you just never know what might eventuate during the course of the year, and I'm not sure you'll see him spend too much time in there, but it might be an opportunity for him at different times just to free himself up if there's a hard tag or the game's not going his way. So he did pretty well in there though, so who knows.
What's surprised you most so far?
Nothing really surprised me. I've really enjoyed the connection of the group, and it's obviously a really young group, and we've got some new faces into the group that have had some experiences at other AFL clubs, but just the connection of the group, their willingness to work really hard, that's been enjoyable to watch, and their willingness to challenge each other as well, to want to get better, so that's been enjoyable to watch.
How are you seeing the small forward battle at the moment?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously Corey Durden's come in from Carlton, and some of the guys that have been here for a little while have been really strong through pre-season, and we've had a look at some different combinations at different times, and it's certainly a battle for round one spots in that space, that's for sure.
Were you aware Durden was as good as he is?
Well, I fortunately had an opportunity to coach Corey at underage level at Central, so I'd seen a little bit of him through his journey and followed him closely since that point, so doesn't surprise me, no. He's played 60 games as well, so he's had a fair bit of AFL experience.
Certainly a battle between the Tools as well, with Ollie Lord and Whitlock as well. How are you finding those two side by side at the moment? Because that Whitlock's certainly emerging this season.
Yeah, I mean, same with Ollie. Like, obviously he had a bit of a down time over the last couple of years, but he's had a super pre-season, and he's had great energy every session, and Jack's probably had a little bit of a stop-start to the pre-season, where he had a few little niggles there. He's had a bit of continuity over the last month or so and been really strong, but I've got no doubt both are going to have really strong years, and that'll sort of play out over the next couple of weeks in trial games and what it looks like round one for sure.
Jack's spending some time in the ruck as well. Is that just another versatility that he has to the side?
Yeah, and I think Ollie as well, like obviously with the game and the way the rules are changed, and I'm not sure anyone really knows how that's going to look just yet, and whether you can play two ruckmen or whether you're going to need other guys that can spend minutes in there. So we're certainly looking at different avenues in that space, and we need to have those guys up to speed, but they certainly offer some good ruck minutes if we need that.
Is that a big thing to look out for within the internals? Obviously you can do the match sim, but particularly in terms of the way the ruck rules work, is that going to be a massive thing over the next few weeks? And if two rucks is something you look at more so?
Yeah, I think so. I think what you'll find is that the teams that win games early in the year, that everyone will probably follow that same play. But I think the ruck rules and the interchange rules, etc., probably don't. No one really knows how that's going to play out just yet. So, I mean, we certainly had a lot of conversation around it, and the trial games against the Crows and West Coast will certainly help in that space for sure.
Harry Ram has been earning a lot of plaudits throughout pre-season, a man you know very well. We've seen his development in the past 6 months after leaving Glenelg. We knew his potential. How impressive has it been for you to see that development come?
Well, it doesn't surprise me because we had that opportunity to work with him closely at Glenelg, but he's still raw, like he's still a 19-year-old kid that's grown into his body, but he's got unbelievable attributes. Still got a bit of learning to do from a game sense perspective, but his upside is phenomenal, so it's going to be exciting to see where he goes.
Just like Harry, Dante, Bergman, a number of other players have put on a significant amount of size over the off-season. Was that a specific goal heading into this season?
Yeah, it certainly was a focus for our guys to get a bit bigger and stronger, and I'm sure every club's in the same boat. And I mean, a little bit of that is too that they're a couple of years into pre-seasons, and that always helps as well. Like you stack them up over time, and that sort of takes care of itself a little bit. But there's certainly been some growth in that space.
Just further on Ollie Lord, it seemed like towards the back end of last year, he was almost being used a bit of a defensive forward. I know that was obviously before your time, but is there a little bit of building him back up again, getting him the confidence to attack the footy? Because we have seen that before a couple of years ago, how dangerous he can be.
Yeah, part of it has been, for him and the other forwards, is to allow them to play to their strengths a little bit. And Ollie's strength is to get at the football and to jump in the contest and really compete in the air. And we've been really impressed with how he's gone about that through pre-season. He's certainly got himself fitter, which helps. He's got some elite standards now that's certainly helping him back up session after session, but he's been really strong through pre-season, so excited for what the season looks like for him.
He's got a few guys in the SSP race. Some big decisions to be made there. Obviously the deadline's been extended. Jaden Stevens announced he's sort of going. He's obviously just come back in after that hamstring. Where's he sort of sitting at the moment?
He had a great period before the hamstring. He played some really good footy in our match play stuff, and then that obviously set him back a few weeks, back into training this week. And the next few weeks are big for those guys. They'll get some opportunity on Friday night in the internal, and then I'm sure they'll get some opportunity in some trial games, be it AFL or sample, over the next couple of weeks to keep pressing their cases. But certainly no decisions have been made from a coaching group perspective. We'll see how that plays out over the next couple of weeks.
How do you sort of with their mentality? Like, I mean, every guy's playing to get a game, but you've got these guys that are fighting for their career, and it feels like if you make one mistake, your mates didn't get caught holding the ball, that could be the difference. How do you sort of keep their heads in the game?
Certainly for the guys that are in, so we've obviously got Jaden and Mitch Zaddo from a forward line perspective in our group. It's just you not look past those moments, but you're more just keep instilling belief in what they're doing and stick to the process, and that stuff you can't control. So that's been the message for me for sure.
Just further to Mon's question about the size, what I understand every club's looking to do that, but it seems to be noticeable with quite a few of the guys, even Butsy the other night, putting on that muscle. What has been the thinking behind that? Is it feeling like last year, and perhaps in the contest sometimes the team was getting pushed off the ball a little too easily?
I think it's probably all of that. There's a bit of that natural stuff as well, and obviously Tim Parham as a new high performance manager maybe does things a little bit differently, I'm not sure, but there's certainly been a want from our guys to spend a lot of time in the gym, and however they can allow their game to improve, that's it's important that they're doing that, and that part of it is being in the gym and putting some size on for sure.
Will Jason or Francis play on Friday night, and if he does, will he wear the pink hat?
He certainly won't wear a pink hat in the internal, we won't go to that track, but he got through training today with a pink hat on and looked pretty strong. We'll probably assess that and see him, and there's obviously been a different pre-season for him, so we're not set on him needing to play on Friday night. We feel like we can get enough minutes in him over the next couple of weeks, but certainly if he pulls out of today well and there's an opportunity, we'll look at that for sure.
Josh is mixed up for the most part from the week until. Is it likely to be an A's versus B's on Friday night?
No, I don't think so. I think we have at different times looked at some stronger combinations, or what we thought were the stronger combinations at that point, but it's been more around combinations in areas of the ground, be it defence, forward, round through the midfield, and we'll do that again Friday night. We'll look at different combinations in different areas of the ground, but we'll try and keep the teams as even as possible and make it a real strong contest. There might be different parts in the game where we look at different things, but I think it'll be a pretty even contest.
How many tall forwards do you suspect you can fit in there? And we were talking about Jack and Ollie before. Come round, is it likely to still be only three?
I certainly over my journey have liked the idea of 3 or 4 if you can, depending if they're different, but we'll look at the makeup of our team and who's available and what's going to suit us best. But I think what we like about our tall forward setup is they're all different. They all offer different attributes. I don't think you can have too many if they have the similar types of games, but our guys have got different styles and they complement each other really well, so we'll find the right combination, I'm sure.
Durden and Alir okay?
Yeah, I think Corey just got a little knock late there, but he's fine. He'll recover and he'll play Friday night. Alir just got a little knock in a marking contest to the ribs, but he was back in it late, so he'll be fine.
Will Balin stay out last week? Will he take part in the match as well?
Yeah, he will. I think, again, like he's a young kid that came into the system, fair workload early on for him, and he just pulled up a little bit sore there for a couple of weeks, and they managed him, but he's been back in training this week and he'll play Friday night.
Stevenson fine to play.
Stevenson will play Friday night for sure.
Just, you've been on both sides of this one. I'm interested in your take on Ted Clohessy. With the West Times sign him, they obviously go to the effort to record him and whatnot, and then late in the pre-season he gets an opportunity potentially to be on an AFL list. You've seen both sides of that debate. What's your sort of take on that?
My thoughts on that has always been that these guys want to play at the highest level, and I still like the mid-season draft scenario. It certainly hurt us at Glenelg last year, but I reckon you lose a lot more guys to country footy or amateur football if you haven't got that incentive to play AFL football. And so the 24, 25, 26-year-old guys that still harbour the ambition to play AFL football, I'm fine with. I know it's tough on the SANFL clubs and the VFL clubs, but I like the idea of it there for these guys to keep chasing that carrot.
Ollie Lord spoke the other day about how one of the shifts has been more of a desire to get the ball into the hands of the weapons or the good ball users, and also, you know, back them to make the right decision. How are you sort of seeing that shift? Is it more of a riskier approach? How have you seen it sort of play out? Is it leading to more mistakes, or do you think the overall benefit is going to pay off?
I think overall the benefit's going to pay off eventually. Is it perfect now? Probably not, but there's a want for our guys to play what they see in front of them, or play what the opposition allow them to be able to play, and be able to change how that looks at different times. And there's certainly been a big focus for us through pre-season is to put them in those positions and see what it looks like. And there's some guys that can do things that others can't, so if we can get the ball in their hands as much as possible, that's going to be a really good outcome for us.
So is there a feeling it's maybe a less rigid approach than what they've had to do in the past?
Oh, potentially. I mean, I obviously wasn't here last year, so I'm not sure what that looked like, but there's certainly a want for our guys to play with a bit of freedom, that's for sure.
Just a word on Joe Berry's improvement.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I didn't know a lot about Joe when I first got to the footy club. Hand on heart, I probably didn't think he was our best 23 at that point, but he's certainly he's knocked the door down and put his hand up big time. So he's been as impressive as anyone through pre-season. So I'm expecting a big year from him. It's probably, again, it's another year of pre-season and some time in the gym, and probably him believing in himself a little bit more, but he's got weapons that are elite, and they're going to be elite at AFL level. So we just need to keep filling with that confidence.
Thanks, guys.